All right, we are here with part 2 of the winter warm-up out at Lewisville, Texas. And here's the results after hole 9. Kyle is still in the lead with Jared a few strokes off. So this is hole 10, 318 feet, and a fairly simple hole, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that's a pretty good shot. Yeah, it's a little Mando hyzer skip shot. You got to throw the right side of the tree. This is actually hole number, let's see, 14's tee pad. And 10's tee pad is directly to our left. Over there, you can see it. And we switched these 2 holes up because of hole 14, which you'll see when we get to hole 14. We've lost a couple trees on the hole, and this just makes it a little bit easier, or a little bit tougher of a shot. So we switched these 2 holes up. But that's pretty much what you want to do. Just something stable. Throw it out there flat and let it skip. Skip, skip, skip all the way to the bucket.
That's what a lot of people do. I know they do a lot of skipping here.
Here goes Kody.
How important is your disc selection when you want to skip?
Pretty important. I would say it's pretty important. You want to throw something pretty overstable with a blunt nose. Something that'll, get to the ground quick on edge and flare up.
Jared can't quite connect for that 2.
Good putt by Robert. Nice birdie. And just a little short. And Kody with a nice birdie. And Kyle with the CTP, great drive. Drop in deuce. It's one of those holes you really do want a birdie. And what else we got here?
Should be
Jared, that's right. Jared kind of almost made that big putt, but just cleaning up our pars and moving on. This next hole is pretty difficult. Number 11. There's our scores after hole 10. Hole 11 is a OB on the left. You're throwing right at hole 12's basket, so you want to be left of it. 411 feet. You just want to throw like a hyzer flip, kind of like Kyle just did right there. And there's a small gap right there you want to hit and be kind of moving forward on your skip shot. You don't want it to skip too much left or you'll go OB. A smart play here is doing that right there. Throwing a fairway driver out there and just getting up there and tossing up under the bucket and going to the next hole with your par.
Kody kind of shot it low there.
A little low, yeah. And I think if it didn't hit that tree, there's potential that thing could have skipped all the way to the basket. Jared looks like he's going for it. Something big. Oh, caught a tree. It's pretty easy to do on this hole is catch one of those first trees. I believe that's an escape I threw. And I caught a tree as well.
Hard to get away from those trees here at the lake park.
Yeah. Pretty wide hyzer upshot there. Not too bad. Good par save. Got me a nice little sidearm up shot, just trying to throw it up under the basket and move on. Got Robert throwing a nice little shot. A little long.
Yeah.
A little long. You might have that tree to contend with on his par putt. And Kyle with the lead that he has, just kind of playing smart and throwing it up under the basket so nothing crazy will happen. That's a tough putt to go for right there. The OB line's about 10 feet behind it and just not an easy one to go for.
Robert having to lean out, get around that tree, and he makes it.
Great save. Good par save. Looks like we're all going to be running to the next hole with pars. Par. which, like I said, is not a bad score on that hole.
And Kyle with his comfortable lead still after hole 11.
Yeah. Hole 12, 321 feet. I was really surprised to see Kyle take the hyzer on this because it's pretty lucky to get through like he did. I see a lot of people either short arm it or, throw it too hot and just catch a tree and drop, as opposed to what Kyle did right there. That's more of the play on this hole, is take a putter or a mid-range and just throw it up there nice and straight and let it turn right to the basket. Big flare on that one from Kody.
In the wrong way.
Yeah. Jared trying the big hyzer. And Jared caught the tree. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Usually happens on this hole when you try that big hyzer. That's more of the shot I prefer on this hole. Just something nice and easy turned over and let it skip up to give yourself a look for your deuce.
Nice. Do you remember what disc you threw on that one?
That was a truth.
Truth.
Ooh, great run by Jared. He was just a little off this weekend.
Kody going for the big putt. Nope. Can't quite get it in there. Solid birdie.
Ooh, just a little high there from Kyle. That really surprised me because he'd been nailing putts confidently all day and he had a pretty good lead already, so kind of surprised me to see him putt that a little too high. Well, he still has a 5-stroke lead that we know of.
That we know of. All right, the next one is 351 feet, and this one seems to be fairly simple.
Yeah, it's pretty easy hole. You just want to throw it out there wide, something stable, just like that. Let it skip, and that's a good shot there by Robert. Throwing a VIP giant out there with a hyzer line. Let it hit, skip, and do its little magic, whatever it needs to do, right over to the bucket. I'll take it.
That seems to be a fairly common shot. Just kind of let it hyzer in and skip on that.
Yeah. Looks like he went a little wide.
Yeah,
and clipped the tree. I think he clipped the tree as well. Kody coming in. A little short. Not too bad, though. That's inside the circle they're putting. And Jared throwing a nice flat hyzer shot. Probably with his Firebird. Caught the tree, though. Man. Just a little tight. Kyle, nice up shot right to the pin. Easy 3, move on. Kody just a bit high.
Dinks it right off the top.
Robert with a nice birdie. I will take a birdie. Everybody else will take par.
Takes a par.
Coming down the stretch. Kyle Webster sitting at 15 under for the tournament. Pretty good.
And Jared and Robert are tied.
Yep.
Now this one's an interesting hole.
Yeah, this is the one that we were talking about earlier. This is actually hole 10's tee pad. And we've lost a couple trees, so we throw it from here now to make it a little bit more difficult of a shot. Kind of force you to throw up the middle. Kind of like that, and I believe I went deep.
Yes.
Quite a bit deep.
Yeah.
Into the thorns. There is a over-the-top shot still, but you have to throw off the back of the tee, and you're flying over OB, which are those little poles that you can see right here in front of you.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, before people would throw a lot of the big hyzers.
Big hyzers, big stall shots, but when the wind is coming, you really don't want to trust throwing your disc that high up in the air. But a lot of people throwing out and around, over, skipping off the road. That's a good shot right there. Friendly roll. That puts him probably about 25 to 30 feet from the bucket for his birdie putt.
Kody got stuck back halfway there.
Yeah, Kody was trying to go down the middle and clip the tree. There's one tree you got to miss right in the middle. You either hit it or you don't. And it's actually a good kick that he went left, because if he went right, he would have gone OB. But being here sometimes is like being OB, because it's a very difficult shot unless you can do that. That was a great sidearm roller out. Pretty phenomenal shot.
Kyle goes for the long putt.
Whew.
Not quite there.
Just short and left.
Eric with the difficult putt.
Right through, man. That was a tough putt. I remember I had a tiny window to hit, and I hit the window and thought I made the putt, but came up just short.
Oh,
wow.
Little spit out there.
That was in and out for Kody for his par.
Robert with the big putt. Yes.
Great.
Good job.
Great
Nice birdie.
putt. And Jared to stay tied. Oh, just a little high. Clean up my par. Clean up his par. Another par. And Kody with a bogey.
Ooh.
Unfortunate spit out. Robert trying to track down old Kyle Webster here,
Yep.
coming down the stretch. This is a fun one, too. It's a 297-foot little hyzer flip through that gap right there. You want to land about 60 to 70 feet short of this pin and scoot right up, kind of like Robert just did. You don't want to hit that tree.
You don't hit that tree.
That tree is no-no.
And you don't look like you like that you
No,
hit that tree.
I didn't.
Kyle goes a little high. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like it got kind of floaty on him a little bit. Kind of like he's... I'm not sure what's going on coming down the stretch here, but...
Jared
That's a good
slides on
shot.
through the trees.
Woohoo.
Nice bounce.
That's a tough shot there. That window is pretty tight. The hyzer shot's a lot more open. And Kody coming through. I think he clipped the tree as well.
Now, before I've seen people would go outside on the right, but it doesn't seem like anyone did that.
See, you see the cars there on the right, Bobby?
Yeah.
Those cars are in a bad spot.
Yeah.
So if you go out to the right and you don't come in and you hit one of those, you got to go way back from your OB shot. So Kyle just laying up for his par. That's a good shot from where he was. Kody with a big putt.
Getting some redemption from that last hole.
Absolutely. Great sidearm there from Jared. Good birdie. Par. And Kyle will take his par as well, and Robert will drop in his deuce. That's a few deuces in a row here for Robert. Pretty good coming down the stretch. Only 3 back now with 3 holes. This is a little downhill, hole 16, 239 feet. It got moved back. The basket used to be right there, right about where his disc skipped, and we went ahead. I guess the city pushed this basket back a little bit and put a Mando on that tree there to the right to keep people from just throwing the big hyzer. But typically what you want to do here is throw an overstable mid-range or fairway driver, flat right down the middle, just like that. Try to get around that tree and skip up to the left, and you have a pretty good look at this basket. I'm not sure what did I throw here. I think that's a verdict that I threw here, and I hit a tree.
You hit a tree.
I hit a lot of trees today.
Yes, you did.
Man, I haven't played well at Lake Park in a while.
And he scoots on by. Good skip.
Clip that tree, but
Yeah.
that's still a pretty decent look for his birdie.
Eric going for the... No.
Just short.
Little side on from Jared.
Jared throwing it up under the bucket for his easy par. Kody.
Nice.
2 big putts in a row. This is a pretty important putt in my eyes for Kyle. Oh, just high. Just a little high. I think he's feeling a little bit of pressure from Robert coming down the stretch here. As Robert gets within 2.
Yeah.
That's got to be his 5th or 6th in a row, too, coming down. Pretty good. I love to see Robert play well. He's a good guy. Tap in my par. Jared does the same. As does Kyle.
All right, coming into hole 17, and this is a long hole.
This is a pretty long hole, tricky hole too. A lot of OB on the left and behind it, and it plays on a slope from right to left. So that's all you really want to do right there if you have a lead, but I'm surprised Robert didn't get a little bit more aggressive. Now, if you have this shot right here, is definitely the shot you want to play. Big sidearm. Give yourself a look at the birdie putt. Not a very easy hole. Got Jared Roan. Looks like he kind of got the nose up on that sidearm a little bit. Probably a little shorter than he was hoping to be, but it's not a bad place to be. Trying to throw my backhand Saint Pro.
I was a little surprised when I saw you throw the shot because I know earlier the day before in practice,
Throwing big anhysers
you were putting
out
them
there.
right up on the basket.
Yeah, I remember. Do you remember the day before? It was like 70 degrees. We were wearing shorts, and it was awesome. There was no wind, and
weather does play a factor.
Yeah. Oh, I remember this. Robert could not believe this upshot he just did right there. Threw it like halfway to the basket. They gave it a pretty good run. This is one of those greens you can give it a pretty good run at because there's a lot of sand right around the basket that'll tend to stop your putt as opposed to skipping away. You can see the sand come up there on that shot. Almost 3 for 3 there for Kody. We got Kyle here. Giving it a run. Man, I don't know if it must have wind caught that or what happened there, but that got a lot of air under it. And Robert just puts it off the pole. He's very disappointed because he knows he missed an opportunity here. Nice putt there by Kyle. Bam.
Good 3.
I'll take it. Kody with his par. Jared as well. I think we all did, except for poor Robert. A lot of birdies coming into this hole, and I think he just felt a little bit of pressure maybe on that putt and knew he was chasing Kyle down, and now Kyle has his 3-stroke lead again. Coming into hole 18, a little shorty skip hyzer with the parking lot right here on the left, but it's fairly easy hole. You really want to birdie hole 18. Jared Roan
comes in with a nice skip. Not quite as close as I'm sure he wanted to be.
A little short, but it's a putt. Don't want a trident, something that'll just skip once and not get a lot of flare.
Looked like you threw a little deep there.
Yeah, I think I was going for the other basket. That's not true. I can't lie about that. Just a little hot.
Kyle comes in low with an early skip.
Early.
But still gets it up there.
That's right there. Not bad at all. And then Robert knows he's pretty much going to have to settle for second.
Yep.
Or will he?
Or will he?
Great shot there by Robert. And my last putt of the tournament is in.
Nice.
Almost out. You see it go in and then play around a little bit.
I saw you stop even don't you dare.
Don't you come out of there.
Kind of lobs it in there.
Birdie. And Kyle for the win.
No.
Just short. I will say this now. After that putt, that putt didn't matter in the long run, but from the third card at this tournament, Paul Dories shot a 13 or a 12 under or something like that. Something just insane. And came up and only lost by 1.
Yes.
He was 14 for the tournament, so
So here are the final results from the lead card. So Robert ended up getting third, and like you said, Paul Dories moved up from the third card and got second place.
Amazing.
So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching our coverage of the winter warm-up, and look forward to more commentaries coming from Eric and myself, and we'll see you guys on the flip side.